Hi there, welcome back to my YouTube channel. My name is Anita Adefi, and happy new month. Welcome to April. This is the start of the second quarter of the year 2023. I hope the first 2 days, today's day two, has been going on well for you, and I hope you had a great first quarter in this year. For those who don't know, I'm an author. I'm the founder of Loud Silences blog, and that is a platform where I talk about all things mental health, sexual violence. The author of the book Reve-Healed, I didn't mention that. And I'm also the founder of Advanced Non-Fulfilled Coaching Company, where I help racialized Canadians advance their careers and live fulfilled lives. And I'm also the founder of Ladies Arise, and that's a women empowerment platform where we bring women of like minds to work together and a community where we help women live purposeful, intentional lives. Look at me stumbling on my words. Anyway, welcome here, and today I am bringing you part two of a conversation that was started last week. If you haven't seen part one, I strongly recommend that you go see it. And today we're talking about how women were asking the question if women are sabotaging themselves and what to do about it. Now, in the whole month of March, we talked about, there were a lot of conversations, programs, seminars, webinars, all sorts on International Women's Day. And it's great that we're asking for all the things they're asking for, all about the women advocacy. But sometimes we also know that there are internal conversations we have with ourselves. And until the internal is resolved, we might never be able to resolve the external. Now, before we jump right in, I have good news to share. Two good news, as a matter of fact. Number one, for those of you who may know, the Girl Child movie made the New York nomination. New York. Great. Amen. Amen. New York Film Festival nomination. Amen to that. But no, right now I'm announcing the Yorkton Film Festival nomination. That's an international festival that also apparently is hosted right here in Yorkton in Saskatchewan, which is where I live with my family in Canada, and in two categories. So two categories, we're excited. The Girl Child is a very short film that we shot through Loud Silences that we made in conjunction with Not Just Media. Just to commemorate the International Girl Child Day 2 years ago now. And it's so great to see this nomination come through. So y'all pray for us that we win the award. I will be there next month to just to be at the festival. I'm really excited, and this is a win for all of us. It means that the conversations we're having here, somehow it's getting the attention, it's getting the magnification that we want it to have, because we want these stories to be told and to go everywhere. So I'm really grateful for this, and I'm excited. Secondly, our book, and I'm saying our because we're in this together. Our book, Reve-Healed, just made. Is it revealed now, or is it me? I don't know, but whatever. But anyway, I made top 50 inspiring authors in Nigeria, and that is exciting. And this is a list, y'all, that has Chimamanda, so it's a big deal for me. That list got Wole Soyinka on there. That list got amazing people, so it's a combination of um um pre-existing authors that have been around and have been in the game for a long time, and new authors like myself, and yeah, I made the list, y'all. So I'm happy, I'm grateful to God. So thank you. Anyway, looking forward to that, and I'll share that news. You're the first to hear it, unless you've read it online already. But anyway, so today, just a quick recap of what we did last week. And for those who don't know, in case you're wondering why it feels like she's just gisting away, I chose progress over perfection. And at some point, rather than look for how to sit down and edit my videos, I decided to go unscripted. Unscripted, not that I just come and say whatever comes to mind, but unscripted in that, well, until I find a video editor, and if you're willing to volunteer for me, I don't have the money to pay you yet, y'all. I don't have the money to pay you yet. But if you're willing to volunteer and say, you know what, Anita, you always make so much sense, and your videos will be much better with some of those editing touches, please give me a shout out. I need your help. I'm asking for help. Okay, so this is me asking for help. Last week we talked about one of the ways you sabotage yourself as a woman is that you're not asking for help. This is me asking for help. So help me, people. All right, so and that's a good way to kind of get us into what we did last week. We talked about some of the ways that women might be sabotaging themselves is not asking for help. So when you feel like there's a lot on your plate, but then you have conflicting deadlines, learn to ask for help, whether it's at work, at home, at church, whatever it is, wherever it is, ask for help. Number two, not resting enough and applying self-care. A lot of women, we work from morning till sundown and late into the night, and then we're up again, and I get it. We're all trying to be Proverbs 31 woman, but please rest. One thing people don't tell you a lot and emphasize is that yes, she rises up early in the morning. Yes, she does all of those things, but clearly, this was a woman that also had servants in a household. All right. So, which means that there were a lot of things that they would probably do that she's not taking on herself. Rest, please. All right. It's a woman who is alive that can live intentionally and purposefully. It's a woman who is alive that can sleep. Dead bodies don't sleep. All right. Number three, this lady. This late. Anyway, sorry. I That's not nothing. I played so much. Number three, not speaking up and not making demands. Life doesn't give you what you wish for. Life gives you what you place a demand on. If you think you deserve that position, sell your case, make your case, and go place a demand on it. If even spiritually speaking, if you feel like there's something going on in your life that isn't right, you've got authority. Make a demand from God based on His word. All right. And then number four is we talked about overthinking it. Many times we're stuck in our head and we're not bringing to bear the things that are going on in our minds, and then it just stays that we're overthinking and we stress over it, and then nothing gets done. And number five, we talked about underselling ourselves and our values. A lot of us have so much on the inside of us. And, oftentimes this shows up mostly at workplaces and in businesses when women are in workplace or businesses where, we want to hide ourselves under the shadow of somebody else and act like, yeah, it's no big deal. No, sis, it was a big deal. All right. It was a big deal. It is a big deal. It is a big deal. Don't let someone tell you that you have bad time management when they're not the ones telling you, when they're not the ones helping you take care of your kids, cook your meals in your home, clean your home. They're not the ones that go to work for you. They're not the ones that wake up in the middle of the night to breastfeed a baby. You see all the things that I'm counting. We've not even touched some other things, the external things that sometimes a lot of us do. They're not the ones helping you go to school while you're feeding that baby. A lot of things we do, and then we undersell ourselves and say we're not enough. You are more than enough. So today we're going to go into the remaining part two, and there are five more things that I want to share. There's 10 of them, and then there's a bonus one. And I think of the bonus one really as the foundational piece, but we'll talk about that. So number six, today we're starting with no boundaries and not saying no. A lot of women are self-sabotaging because they do not have boundaries and they don't say no. I will know because this is me. Oh my God, this is me. Used to be me, and I'm evolving, I'm trying. I just said yes to everything. And let me even pause here and just tell you something. For those of us that have even been through any form of traumatic experiences, and or you're a people pleaser, oftentimes when people are people pleasers, something went wrong at some point in your life that you feel like you need to measure up. And I know, again, because this is me describing myself and how I used to be, and even still consciously, constantly questioning my decisions, my thought patterns, and whatnot. If you're a people pleaser or somebody who feels like, oh, I need to always prove myself, chances are that you say yes to everything. You're going under. Anita, can you help us do this? Oh, yes, sir. Can you help us do that? Oh, yes, ma'am. Can you help us? No, please stop. Guess what? God forbid bad thing. You drop dead, they will find replacement in the next heartbeat. Your own just stop beating, they found replacements before the next heartbeat of another person. They have found replacements. So please draw your boundaries, relationship boundaries. Draw relationship boundaries. If you don't want someone all up in your space, find nice ways of putting those boundaries in place. As a matter of fact, healthy people set healthy boundaries. So if you're finding it difficult to set boundaries and say no to things, honestly look inwards and ask yourself, what is it in me that makes me feel like I always have to say yes to people? All right, so set boundaries. Do you have boundaries at work? Do you have boundaries at home? Even at work, it's not every work you can do. Sometimes your plate is full. Learn to say no, or can I do this at another time? All right. Someone had asked me the question in one of our sessions in Ladies Arise to say, how do I say no at work? You say no by saying, okay, I have these things that I want to do that we've agreed to that are priorities for me to do. Now you're asking me to do this. I'm still working on these other things. Do you want me to remove something and place this as a priority instead? Or can I shift the deadlines for XYZ so that I can take on this additional thing? Or can I do this additional thing at a later time? There are ways around it. For me personally, I know that one of the places that I struggle to say no to, or people that I say no, I struggle to say no to. If you're older than me, if it's church, I don't know how to say no. But people, I'm learning, all right? Please don't be upset if I say no to you. Okay, just saying. All right, number 7, not challenging ourselves and our status quo enough. I mean, at some point you got to push the buttons on you. Yes, I know I said learn to say no, but there is a place of, we get into this comfort space, all right? And then we don't even push ourselves to do more, to be more. Recently I was trying to challenge my kids to say, think of how you can be better. It's good. You got that grade. It's good. It's great. But is there anything else that I can do? This is it. I say this with a lot of caution because I know sometimes some people think that, they always have to do more. Sometimes more is less. All right. So it's not just about the doing and doing more, but it's that, is there a better way? It's that strive for excellence, right? Is that I'm seeking to continuously improve myself. I am seeking to close gaps that I know that might be, showing up in my life in areas where I know I can do better, right? It is that consistent push to say, how can I do better? If you've been cooking something in a certain way, how can I take this and be innovative, be thinking, be innovative minded? How can I do better? Many of us experience, different things, many phones that we use, technologies that we use today. It's because people sat down and thought to say, how can I do better? And you cannot seek to do better and push the boundaries on yourself if you do not question the status quo. It is people who question the status quo that oftentimes will become innovative in how they think, whether it's at work, whether it's at, one of the things I told myself at some point was, who said that women can't be working moms and do business and do whatever it is they want to do? Now, given I will spend more time doing things and maybe less playtime, as it were, than other people might have compared to. But the truth is, even though supposedly playtime, sit down and really think about it. What do you do with it? What value have you brought into your life and the lives of those around you with that extra time that you think you have? What value has it given into your own self? How much more those around you? All right. So where do you need to challenge yourself and challenge your status quo and say, you know what? I can do better. I can be better, and seek to push yourself. If it's at work, sometimes there are positions that we want to apply for and we say, oh, I'm not good enough. Now, there's the part where maybe you look at it and you can genuinely, objectively say, okay, I don't have some of these competencies. But then the question is not to fold up your hands and say, oh, well, I don't have it. How can I close that gap? What can I do? How many of us sit down with ourselves and conduct gap analysis in our lives to say, what's the vision of my life and where am I going? And what do I need to build on today to help me get there tomorrow? How many of us do that? And I'm challenging you to challenge yourself. Look at your life critically. Especially when if you can say with confidence that where you are is where you think you're supposed to be, good luck to you, congratulations. But if you know that you can't confidently say that where I am is where I ought to be, then ask yourself, what can change and needs to change in my life today? Many of us don't grow. We don't grow. Challenge your mind. Who says that in between everything you're doing, you can't read a book for a month? Yes, I'm talking to you now. You know yourselves. You'll come for me. All right. So challenge yourself. Seriously, challenge yourself. Okay. Challenge yourself at work. Take stretch projects. There are things they call stretch projects. Stretch projects are projects that, you may or may not even have a qualification for, even the experience, right? And you know that it might take a little more out of you. Take it, you won't die. I remember one time, when I was talking to my mentors at work, and then we decided that we're going to do And he asked me what I was looking for in my career, and I listed out some things, and we talked about how we're going to close that gap. And one of it was I was going to apply for positions that were much higher than my than where I was at the time, to help me learn on the job. And I remember looking at eventually getting one of those positions, and I was going to be in it for 6 months. And I looked at how many levels higher I was going to go from where I was. I was scared to death. I was scared. I won't lie to you. I was scared. And then luckily I even got tapped on the shoulder to now come and take the position. So it even dropped in my laps. First of all, the position dropped in my laps. It was something that was in line with some of the goals. You see, and that's even one of the powers of vision, by the way. What you're not looking for won't find you. It won't just happen. But when you've captured something in your heart called vision, and you say, this is where I want to go, suddenly you start seeing it. Suddenly you start seeing doors and opportunities start opening up themselves to you. But you have to, first of all, have it. It resonates with what's on the inside. And this is why even the conversations we have with ourselves, and why I'm talking about this topic, for the last 2 weeks now. All right. And then I eventually started 3 months, and I was like, yeah, you people, I'm done. I wanted to run back to where I was coming from. And I remember something he said, you've done 3 months, you're halfway there. Why not just finish it and see where this leads? By the time I was done and I went back to my former position, I suddenly realized, no, 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 no. I'm made for more than this. And it made me start to tap into levels that I didn't even know existed within myself. And now I've been in some of those levels, I've been in some of those rooms, and now I'm even questioning even where I am already again. You can do it. Just stretch a little. Just a little bit. Anyway, I'll leave it there. Number 8, not raising others up. There is something to be said that, a flowing river never runs dry. It never runs dry. There is something to be said about how you even stretch yourself when you know that there are people who are looking up to you. It makes you, if you're someone who is raising other people, one of the things that drive why I do the things I do is that I want to leave legacies behind. Not because I want people to know my name. I don't care about that, quite frankly. But because I understand the importance of intergenerational knowledge transfer. I understand the importance of intergenerational wealth transfer. I understand the importance of intergenerational wisdom transfer. And those are the things that I want to commit to. And you cannot do that without raising them up. What are you going to be leaving for the next generation? What are you going to be leaving for those coming behind you? Again, one of the things why to stretch yourself is important is that there are people coming behind you. What door are you holding open for them? You can't hold the door open for someone if you yourself are not on the inside. Sometimes there are some offices or some doors or some centers you go to, Muslim community centers, you find that the door only opens from the inside. If you're on the outside, you can't open the door. It's either you have a key and you open the door, you break in, or you have somebody on the inside open it up for you. You need to be on the inside, on the other end of some doors, so that you can hold it open for other people. And sometimes part of it can even just be one person. You've gotten to manager level. Train the person and teach them how you got there. Teach them the things that helped you. I'm a big believer in that. I remember when I was every step of the way, I started doing career coaching long before I even got to any level. Long before I got to where I am today, I've been doing career coaching. The small ones, I learn small like this, I'm teaching the next person. I don't believe in keeping people on a leash where they're constantly dependent on you and coming back to you. You will burn out. Teach them how to fish for themselves. I'm a big believer in that. And the truth is that when, as a woman, you're teaching other people, you're actually learning. So when you're teaching other people, you're learning. You are learning. And it keeps you on your toes where you're striving to also do better. So are you sabotaging yourself by not raising other people? Because here's the thing, that there are times that you yourself, you might be down. These people that you've raised, they can recognize it in you because once upon a time, you recognize something in them and they'll know what to do because you taught them. Raise other people. Number 9, not leveraging community. As you're raising people, you yourself are building a community. I believe strongly again in people in numbers, good numbers, because numbers for numbers' sake is not numbers. 300 can win a war. 30,000 can win a war. So whether it's 300 or 30,000, can they win a war with you? That's what matters. You want a crowd that helps you know how to fight when you can't fight for yourself. You want a crowd that knows how to share information. You can't do it on your own. You can have it all, you can do it all, but not on your own. Okay, so find a community with like-minded people. If you can't find them, come and join Ladies Arise. We're here for you. But find a community where they can challenge you to grow. They challenge you to think outside the box. They challenge you to challenge yourself in every area of your life. Number 10, not investing in ourselves. This one. Now, whether it be beauty, for those who are very big on fashion, I am not. I'm not a big fashion person. I'm not a big makeup person, and I'm sure you can see that a lot of times. If they leave me, oh God, anyway. If the fashion industry had only people like me to depend on, they will wreck out of business. But there are other ways that I like to invest. I love to read books. Okay, I like to read. Reading. Some people find reading as a chore. Reading relaxes me. Reading relaxes me, and I love to learn. Now, whether it be training at work, invest in yourself. When I even talk about making demand, sometimes the investment in yourself, and not necessarily from coming from your own pockets. Do you value yourself enough, first of all, to say, I will invest in myself and take a training? Or I will invest in myself and get that. Look, I know most times when we hear this, we talk about self-care and all of that. It's part of it too. You invest in your health. You invest in your spiritual life. You invest time. It's not just money. You invest time in yourself. Spend time by yourself and just be okay. Spend money on yourself. Spend money to buy books for yourselves. Just, even in the buying things, sometimes, sorry to those who love fashion, maybe because I don't like it, but sometimes when we hear invest in yourself, many of us automatically start to think about the next Brazilian wig or the next shoe or the next bag or whatever. It's good. It's great. If it makes you happy, and do you do you. Me, I like to travel, so I will invest in that. Right? I'll invest in that. Cars are not, I'm not freaked by cars. I might not invest in that. There is the piece where you're investing in what makes you happy. You're investing in your health. You're investing in yourself spiritually. You're investing in yourself in your career. You're investing in yourself in knowledge. You're investing in yourself in money. Securing, we talk about financial freedom and financial wealth and all that, and financial management and all that. Make those investments. Look at areas in your life and make investments. The reason sometimes we don't put investments in ourselves is it comes down to self-value. We don't value ourselves, or again, we don't think of ourselves as worthy enough to have certain things. Don't go and break the bank. But at the same time, look at how your budget goes. Look at how your time goes. Look at the things you spend time feeding on. How many of those things are self-directed? Where it's because you can't give what you don't have, right? And that's why this is very important. So this is not some self, magnifying type thing. It's not a me, myself, and I kind of situation, but it's in the realization that even if I want to do all the things I want to do, I can't give it for if I don't have it. And sometimes it's okay if you do it just for you. It's fine. It's very fine. You deserve it. So whatever it is that you think that you need to invest in yourself and invest in things that have great value that can give you even more returns. When you invest in your health, you're alive enough to take care of your family and you'll be happy. Okay. So anyway, just a recap before I go to the bonus and foundational stuff. Not asking for help, please ask for help. Not resting enough, rest. Do a lot of self-care, massage, even the clothing. If you're the type who shopping relaxes you, go and be relaxed. Shop, just don't break the bank, and be thoughtful of how you're shopping and don't spend your future. Not speaking up and not making demands. Learn to speak up for yourself. Sometimes you're your best advocate. Overthinking things. Just do it. Go all Nike. Understanding our value and ourselves. First of all, you even have to identify the values that you have and what you bring to the table. And then don't undersell yourself. Did I say overselling? Don't undersell yourself. No boundaries and not saying no. Set healthy boundaries. Okay? You deserve some of those boundaries. Not everybody needs to have access to you, period. It's that simple. You don't have to be a Michelle Obama for people to not be able to have access to you. Not everybody needs access to you. Not everybody needs access. Your heart is too precious to just let any and everybody come in. You don't cast, pearls to swines. Not challenging ourselves and our status quo enough. All right? Look at your life and challenge yourself to grow. Not raising others up. Invest in other people. Okay? Invest in other people. Not leveraging community. Find a community and join one. And not leveraging and not investing in ourselves. Invest in yourself. Now, the foundation of all of this, all right? The foundation of all of this, and this is for me how I live my life and the principles that work for me and I set my life on, is not being connected to God. People, I have lived it before. I can tell you this. I have lived a life without God before. It's not the same. Oh God, it's not the same. Because there are so many times where everything you know to do will fail you. A lot of times. It will fail you. Governments fail. I work with government. They fail. They fail. The systems you think you know, they fail. But you know what never fails? God. Build a life. Let God be the foundation on which you're building your life. You see all those conversations that sometimes happen in our minds, in our head, and then we let them shortchange us from all that we can become. It is the forces that are working you to make sure that you don't be who God called you to be. And you challenge it by making sure that, first of all, that foundation is in God. So if you're not, I invite you, I encourage you. Send me a message. We'll walk you through what that looks like. Be in God. The times are changing too much. Things are happening that I don't know how anybody gets through it without God. That's all I'll say. But that's the foundation on which all of this happens. Even when you want to sabotage yourself, God won't let you sabotage you. And that's the beauty about this, is that God will not let you sabotage you. So which of these have you been, doing to yourself that you maybe need to change, or that you realize now that, yeah, I definitely need to change that? I'd love to hear about it. Leave it in the comments. Send a message if you want to. And again, if you're a woman, and I encourage you, Ladies Arise is there if you're looking for a community. Come on board. We seek to help women live purposeful, intentional life, holistic lives, where every area of your life is working as it should. As it should. Anyway, thank you for watching. Don't forget to give this video a thumbs up. Share it with friends and family. Again, I know I addressed this one to women because of March, but I think the lessons here can apply to anybody. So I encourage you, please share with any and everybody, and I will see you in the next video. Welcome to April once again, and have a blessed day and week. Bye.